everyone, to Ferriphobe Campaign 2, Episode 24. My name is Sam Lander, I'll be your GM, and I have some players.
My name is Zerder, playing Lumi, the Circle of Stars Druid.
My name is Balric, playing Elros, the Battlemaster Fighter.
Hi, I'm Suda, playing Risha, the stabbiest stab-happy rogue to have ever existed.
Hello, I'm Sadie, playing Zari, the Barbarian.
Hello, I'm Inter. I'm playing Krier, the Monk.
I'm Ashes, and I play Ibrahkeet the Wizard.
So after agreeing to travel back to Miva with your new companion, young woman who is a little underweight perhaps, and maybe carries a toothy secret, being a dragon and all, you started off in your trek, and on the way back decided to head directly across country, maybe save yourself a little bit of time, and instead ran into hunting mated pair of boulettes, or boulets, however they're said. Relatively quickly dispatching the two land sharks, you decided to butcher one of them while feeding the other one to your new dragon companion, who ate it with much gusto and very disturbing sounds. You then traveled on through the rest of the day and took a camp to discuss what was actually going on in the wider world of Haifa and Miva. In the middle of the night, Elros and Anya hunted some wild Vuji, and Elros got to witness the fact that there aren't too many teeth inside of Anya's mouth. They're just all there because that's how big her mouth is. And headed back to the camp, slept the rest of the night. In the morning, Lumi cast Druidcraft in order to see what the weather was going to be like today, and saw that it was going to be stormy, so the party left early, hoping to beat the storm back to Miva, only about a half of a day's travel away. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. A couple hours into the travel, though, only about 3 hours from town, you guys can just start seeing the towers at the edges of the walls as you crest hills, and can kind of see long distances. You know, maybe probably Zari having the best view of it, being the tallest. And then the storm comes up from the southwest, coming in behind you. Starting with pebble pea-sized hail, and quickly surrounding you in heavy fat drops of rain, lightning flashing all through the clouds and striking down at high points around you. It becomes practically impossible to hear anybody talking, because the sound of the rain against your hoods and against the ground and against the rocks and the tree, well, not really trees, rocks and the grass and everything else around you, almost completely silences your ability to speak. The wind is quickly picking up behind you, and you can hear it like this is a strong storm. This is a storm of you really want to be somewhere low, so A, you don't get struck by lightning, and 2, you don't get literally blown away by it. It is now it is practically impossible to see which direction you're going. It's the only reason you don't lose each other is because you are relatively close to each other as you were traveling along. But much further than arm's reach, and the small hail and rain almost remove sight from you. It's so bad.
So what are we going to do? Are we gonna press on, or are we going to find a place to hide?
We might as well get low. We're not making any progress in this weather. We'll get all turned around.
All right.
Everybody tie yourself to Zari. Hurry.
I think this is a skill challenge to find yourself someplace safe to be without either getting split up or lost or otherwise have issues. So I think I think 5 successes before 3 failures. But it is a very strong, like, this thunderstorm, as Sadie put it in chat a couple day ago or yesterday. This is a storm with a face. Like, this is beyond a normal thunderstorm. So I'm gonna set the DC to 20, and we need 5 successes before 3 failures. And I am open to what skill you're using and how you're using it. So please, who would like to go first?
I'm going to take a rope and tie it to our middles.
Try to make sure people don't get separated from each other.
Yeah, so we know where we're going.
Okay. What skill do you think that uses?
A dexterity based, I guess. Sleight of hand, maybe. I don't know.
I'll take sleight of hand. You're doing something that's hard to do. You're not trying to hide it, but yeah, sure, go for it. Sleight of hand.
I'd rather do acrobatics, but
This doesn't feel like an acrobatics check.
no, same here.
Add some flips to it.
A 12. So you start tying yourself to all of your friends, and this, like, you manage, like, that's not something that's impossible to do. You do it, but it takes time, and as people are not moving very quickly as you're trying to tie everybody up, it's taking longer and longer as the storm gets heavier and heavier. The pea-sized hail has moved into bean-sized hail. Like, it's getting bigger. It's starting, like, to sting any exposed skin that the hail hits. It's not injuring you, but it's definitely the hail is getting worse. And Ibrakeet, you find yourself on some of these wind gusts, like, being forced to take a couple steps forward or hunch down towards the ground as the wind pushes you. So that is failure number 1. But you are all tied together, so you do not get separated.
Okay, I want to just, like, look around to find something we can get under.
Okay.
Perception?
Yeah, perception.
Oh.
I was gonna say, or investigation. I am okay with either.
Let's see. I'm gonna use a portent to make that a 21.
Okay. With a 21, Ibrakeet spends, as Cryor is trying to get tied up. Ibrakeet, you think through the gaps in the sheets of rain coming down. You think, in the distance, maybe a couple miles away, you see the remnants of an old farmstead. In the 18 years of time between when Miva fell and now, it has gone into disrepair, but there may be sections of wall you can hide behind, or there may be an old root cellar you can get down into. it is that you see something in the distance and you are able to direct your friends in the right direction. So we are currently at 1 success and 1 failure.
Yeah, I point in that direction and telepathically tell everyone what I see.
Absolutely. You are the
Uh,
only thing that people are able to reliably hear.
I would like to use my athletics to make sure everybody heads in the right direction. Not only that, doesn't get blown off course, and just kind of, help Iberkeet out with the wind and things like that. Just basically dragging everybody in the right direction that we're tied all together.
Go for it. Roll that beautiful acrobatics footage. 23. All right, so Elros, with sheer strength of muscle, you are able to keep everybody on the ground using the rope that Crior tied to you all, to help organize and direct everybody. And every once in a while, you like literally find yourself like dragging along the ground as the sail of somebody's cloak catches wind, and you dig in feet and grab bunches of razor grass to prevent yourselves from being thrown like a kite into the skies. And you are able to continue process in the correct direction.
I think I'll try and use survival to try and anticipate and time the when it's safe-ish to move and when we should just pancake to the ground.
Right.
In the worst squalls.
Go for it. So we're at survival with 23. That is success number 3, I believe, with 1 failure. Yes, success number 3 with 1 failure. All right. So you guys, as you're going along, every once in a while will hear the faint voice, despite the fact that he is a mere arm's length away from you. The faint voice of Lumi calling out, saying to duck down. And as you do, with an almost preternatural sense, Lumi has like timed it so that you guys get low enough so that the lightning strike, instead of hitting one of you, strikes at a nearby clod of earth that is slightly taller than you. Like the tingling on your arms grows, and Lumi will yell, "Get down!" And you'll all duck, and a deafening strike of lightning will hit nearby, throwing clods of dirt in your direction. You're able to get up, move forward a little further, drag yourself with Elros holding you down to the ground, 10 feet, 20 feet before get down, and another gust of wind threatens to take you off into the skies. But you are making progress. Who's next?
I guess I can use another athletics check to haul everybody using the rope towards the little farmstead.
Go for it.
I don't know why that gave me advantage, but
The left one is 25, so you are now up to 4 successes and 1 failure. Right? Yes.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So, with Elros at the back of the pack, holding everybody down from flying away, and Zari dragging, at this point, sometimes literally dragging you guys forward through the quickly deepening mud. You guys are soaked to the skin, filthy, dirty, just covered in dirt, literally gunk, mud. And Zari dragging you forward. You're able to get through a quickly filling, very straight wall ditch of water that is rushing away from this farmstead, and you guys can now see the buildings just literal feet away from you. If you use the same, if a person uses the same skill a second time, the DC goes up by 5. So think about your second round, because I think we're up to second. Or is somebody not gone yet?
Risha hasn't done anything yet.
Risha. I think we're down to you.
We are.
Well, we actually have two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have two people left. 5, 6. Right. Anywho. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, one person left. Right, Risha. Okay, never mind. My brain was wrong. Anyway, 4 successes and 1 failure. You need 1 more success to reach some semblance of safety.
I think I'm gonna drop an investigation and try and find the driest spot here.
Okay. So investigating the farm, the houses, with, perfect. We're down to the next one. The next one is the deciding.
No,
So
I'm gonna use my other portent.
Okay.
So that's a 21.
That's a 21. All right. So Risha, you start searching, and Iberkeet, like, with a bump to your shoulder, turns your head to the side, and you see the opening to a root cellar.
Well, let's hope it's not flooded.
And
I saw this whole event in a dream.
yeah, you guys, like, the hail has gone from being, a little bigger than pea-sized. It's now like pebble-sized, a little smaller than a golf ball, and it is actively leaving bruises. I'm not gonna make you take damage yet because you guys did succeed the skill challenge. You guys work your way into this root cellar. It is half, 3/4 collapsed. The back half of it is all fallen in, and it is impossible to hear each other. Like, the sound of lightning crashing around you is continuous at this point. And working your way inside of here, you guys, this is a tight fit. Like, everybody is squeezed in. Anya, it being the smallest of you by far, is like beneath all like crouched down kind of beneath all of your feet, just trying to find a gap in anywhere. And there is no door, but the wind direction is blowing such that the worst of the storm is blowing past this open doorway, and you hear the wind howling outside of this room, and the rain is coming down in torrents, and the hail is like, it looks like looking out through the door, it looks like snow has fallen. The hail is starting to pile up so much. And Anya, in a language you guys don't understand, is saying something rather urgent.
Elris is gonna look up and just see and make sure nothing's gonna fall down on top of us.
This place is earthen, and there is a old stone archway made with fitted like stones. You don't think that this place will like it'll take more than this sort of storm to make this section of this collapse. The earth itself has to move. This place is much smaller than it should be because the back half of it did collapse at some point, but the front half of this is okay. The sounds of Anya are getting progressively more urgent. Everybody give me a perception. Lumi, except for Lumi, who's casting a spell. For the next 24 hours. So the next approximately third, so the first third of your druidcraft indicates thunderstorm or other strong storm. The next third of your druidcraft is a like rain indication, and then it shows like clearing skies. Of course, Ibriki gets a plus 25 perception.
Yeah, I rolled a 20. I'm sorry.
All right. So what you notice, anybody getting more than a 10, is that you guys are standing in, I don't know, it's like rising up past your ankles deep water, and Anya, being kind of scrunched down between your legs, is currently sitting in this water, and like she is like a cat who you're trying to give a bath to, and she's trying very hard not to like lash out at whoever, but every time somebody's legs get near her, she like flinches from them. She is like thrashing around in this water, and the water level is rising.
First thing, I'm gonna pick up on you. Just to, I know she's gonna be thrashing about, but gotta get her out of that before it gets too bad.
Okay, so you please make a. I would like you to make a strength athletics check as you try to wrench her up from beneath your guys' legs.
I'll do some. Oh, no need. But I would say I'm gonna do some acrobatics to make some more room.
Well, there is no more room, and you with that, Elros, you're able to grab a hold of her and dodge the wildly flailing arms with sharper fingernails than you think a person should have. You take a couple of like good scratches across the breastplate of your armor, leaving like distinct clear lines through the mud that's accumulated on the armor, and you can hear the like I don't think that's coming through, the like almost nails on chalkboard as her nails are trying to slice into your armor, but you are able to lift her up out of the water, get her kind of up onto your shoulders, and despite the fact that she basically has to lay across the top of you guys, she calms down relatively quickly and says in probably Sylvan, as she's calming down, it's like, why does it have to be raining?
It's only for another 8 hours.
8 hours? She looks down. By then, this place is gonna be full. And not just of us. Oh, I should be speaking in accent. Well, anyway, I'll remember accent for the next bit.
How deep is the pit compared to the door opening?
You guys are down about 4 feet. So the door opening is about, the ground level is about shoulder height to most of you. Those of you who are more than 6 feet tall are crouched because you can't stand fully up. But yeah, so the ground outside of this place is about 4 feet. You're about 4 feet down.
I will just tell her that I don't think it will get higher than this, and I will hold my hand slightly above outside ground height. But and then switch to Fayen and say we might need to see if we can find something above ground, because this storm is gonna keep going for another 8 hours or so.
Is it normal for this kind of storms here?
This storm is exceptional, but not new. As we discussed a little bit in, I think I'm gonna go with the Sisha or Sicha Kata. Like, this is a storm that, after the aftermath of, people give a name to, and reference in the future. It is, maybe 1 or 2 of these have passed by you guys in your lifetime.
So it's rare.
Right. This is more than just a thunderstorm. And literally, you guys, anybody looking out into the open field, you can see small air elementals forming whirlwinds and picking up objects and flinging them across the open space, just out of sheer joy of being in the wind.
I would like to put a clairvoyance sensor on the roof of the farmhouse.
Okay. How does that work?
Just see what I can see. I can put an invisible sensor within 1 mile of me.
Okay.
In a place I have visited or seen before.
Sure.
Or I can deduce that the place exists.
Right.
It lasts for 10 minutes with concentration.
Mm-hmm.
And I can either see or hear through it.
Okay, and you want to see through it?
I'm choosing C because hearing is kind of useless here.
Yeah, hearing is, yes. All right. So
I know roughly where the roof of the farmhouse is, so I'm putting it up there.
Yep. You, out of your vision, you are magically able to perceive through this storm in a much clearer way than you can just with your puny Feyan eyes. You can see like kind of these very small, like dog cat sized air elementals swirling through, picking up objects, flinging them around. You see the, now from this perspective, obvious canal filling up with rainwater and rushing off towards the lake that's just a couple miles away towards we used to be just a couple miles away towards Miva. And you sense that there's something bigger here. You can feel, like, you can see something is driving these air elementals forward. Just by the way they're all moving kind of in the direction the storm is moving, but also kind of not. And some of them, like, you see an air elemental like appear out of nothingness and then play around for a little while. It has a face that you can kind of see, and it will look into the southwest, and it will kind of, once it has done that, then it will move towards the northeast, kind of in a straight line, and then it'll just vanish as if it never existed.
All right. I tell everyone it looks like something's pushing the elementals.
Do I feel that it's a magical storm?
There is magic everywhere. Like, this sort of storm doesn't exist without a very strong magical component to it. If it had been natural at first, just by the sheer dint of how powerful this thunderstorm is, it generates its own magic. And that is why the air elementals are able to exist, because they are just generated from the sheer joy of existing in this powerful of wind on the prime material plane. Iberkeet, could I get from you a nature check, please? Okay.
Nothing I can do about it.
Nope. You used.
I'm out of inspiration and I'm out of portents.
You used your portents.
Mm-hmm.
For good use, I think, though, because you guys are safe for the next 8 hours, unless you plan on getting out and traveling into the storm any further. The storm will pass. By now, there's probably a good foot of softball-sized and smaller hail built up in drifts that you guys can see out past the opening of this barn door, and this door, and you are very glad that the wind direction is such that it's not blowing into this place.
So Lumi, you are some storm druid, right? Can't you control this?
No, not yet. I know there are some druids that can. I don't have that possibility yet. Although stars aren't storms.
It looked like a storm to me when you use it.
It looks like the night sky.
Is the water that is coming into the cellar, is it coming in through the opening of the door, or is it just coming in through the ground?
You try to kind of block up the door a little bit, thinking that it's flooding in through the opening of the door, and you find that it must be just permeating through the soil, because despite your best efforts to block the water coming in, it's now up to your knees. It's about 2.5 feet tall. It is ice cold, really unpleasant, and Anya is crouched on probably 3 of you, like a cat that is currently being held over top of a tub and has managed to get paws on both sides to prevent her from getting deeper down into the water. And she is panting, like obvious panic.
Yeah, the water is probably coming in through the collapsed bit of the cellar.
Or the ground around, but yeah.
I mean, I got a pot. We can start bailing water. That's the only thing I can think of.
We have light. That's all I'm gonna say. I've been keeping produce flame in my hand just so we have some light.
Right.
Does it give off warmth as well?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Not unless I attack you with it.
You guys, yeah, the Lumi's light does worm, like, at least light up the interior space, but the, like, near the door, just constant lightning strikes.
There isn't a non-soggy ground to make fire in either. So unless we make it inside the pot.
well, I could light a torch if we want some warmth. But I'm not sure how long it's gonna be, you know, on with these winds.
We could try making a fire in the pot to at least get some warmth.
I mean, ideally we get rid of the water, but I don't got anything to do. I don't have anything that can do that. So
Yeah, I got a
Okay.
cup and a plate, but that's it.
As you guys debate the finer points of bailing water out of this place, and probably try to do it for a while with middling success, and every once in a while, one of you probably earns a scratch or two from Anya as you're all standing there, and, like, you can't sit down because you'd be, like, as the water has now gotten almost waist deep, sitting down seems like a way to just get completely submerged. So as somebody shifts, at least one of you catches a swipe across some soft bit of flesh. Who takes?
Most likely me.
Yeah. Take just 2 points of damage. As sharp nails, I should be specific, not claws, scratch probably across, like, your face a little bit. And as the storm is abating, you get the feeling, like, Lumi, you can tell that there's maybe a half an hour or an hour left, and it's definitely winding down. You all hear. You guys are standing almost armpits deep in water at this point. It is incredibly cold. Like, there are chunks of hail. There are hailstones just that did manage to kind of skip their way in here, that are floating in the water, and they're not immediately melting. And as you guys are standing there, armpits deep in nearly ice cold water, with a very disturbed Anya desperately trying to cling herself to the ceiling, you hear just a I don't know how much that came through because Discord kept cutting out. Sound in the distance, and it is just getting louder and louder and louder. And first you can't hear each other speak, and then you can't hear yourself speak, and then you can't hear yourself think. And as this sound goes by, you see a brown wall, is the best way to put it, pass beyond the opening of this place, across the opening, and you can see out, like, there's this broken down farmhouse just out there, and it is completely gone. Just as this brown, no better way to put it, wall moves past you, the stones, those that aren't picked up and thrown who knows how far away, are just crushed to dust. And behind this wall, it is, other than the sound, no, it's not raining, it's not lightninging, it is dark as night, and the sound is seeming to be never ending.
I'm druid crafting just to make sure we're actually at the tail end of a storm and not at the halfway point ish. Because the quiet before the storm is the dangerous part.
Right. So there's just a sliver of storm left.
This is going into the direction of Mifa?
This is vaguely, at least. It's going towards the northeast, as best you can figure.
I'll poke my head out and actually look around to see. The wall has left, and it's clear-ish weather above right now. I want to see if there's a wall of rain coming, like 30 minutes behind it.
Okay, so you poke your head out. It is dead calm, and you can see about a mile in any direction a brown circulating wall that is slowly turning as it moves towards the east and a little north. And the edge that you saw pass earlier is about a mile in the eastwards direction, and about a mile in the westwards direction you can see another just brown wall headed towards you. You are almost in the dead center of this, whatever this is.
Do we see anything in the center if we look up?
You see dark storm clouds, like infused with brown, and every once in a while you see lightning trying, like it's very muted lightning.
I relay that we're about midway between a circular wall that's
What did you
moving.
say?
You guys can't hear a thing. It is. You feel a little bit of, Lumi, you feel as you exited this place, like there's a little bit of like suction, but not exactly. And as you see the back edge of this coming close, you get back into...
Oh yeah, I'm not staying out there through that.
You see the back end of this tornado moving back over, and it gets quieter, and you don't realize how loud it had been. And compared to the sound of this thing moving overhead, it's relatively quiet. Just, continuous thunder and blowing wind. But the strength of the storm seems much less now. It's not hailing anymore. It's just rain and continuous thunder from lightning. And there's no hail anywhere on the ground. It has all been removed, and there's no buildings around, and yeah.
And just to make sure, I'll look at Rookcraft, check the weather to see that we're now actually in the rain part.
Maybe 15 minutes of thunderstorm left, and then it is just rainstorm after that.
I'll try to indicate that now might be as good a time as any to just start moving again, because yeah,
we spent a whole lot of time here.
I also show the orb I'm
right
producing to them, so they can at least see it, if they don't immediately understand it.
So you guys head out?
Yeah.
Lumi is
soaking, dripping wet It is noticeably warmer above ground than it was down in that pit. The ground looks like it has been scoured clean by an army of ants or workers. Like there is not a unpulled root, a two stones stacked on top of each other. Everything is covered, and as you guys come out, even though you had stayed in there for a while after the tornado passed, you can still see the top of its funnel off to the east.
Is there is there enough flotsam and jetsam around that I can light a fire?
Everything is soaked completely through. There is nothing dry here.
Dang nabbit. Well, my +8 survival says start moving or we freeze.
Yep.
It's 65, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. Like, it's not terrible. But you're all definitely chilled from the time in the water. Elros, Anya is riding you like a child might ride their father, like strapped onto your back, refusing to touch the muddy soil.
Understandable. I knew what I was getting myself into whenever I picked her up earlier.
All right, we should be getting to somewhere safer than this then, she says in probably Orcish.
Yep, we'll head to Miva.
Somewhere dry, I hope.
I hope.
All right, it is dark because it is both raining. It's no longer storming, but it is raining. And you guys lost the entire daylight hours standing armpit deep in mucky, muddy water. Who would like to lead the way? You're only 6 hours out of town now. Because it is wet and slippery and mucky and terrible.
Sorry, I am cold.
Lumi can take a stab at trying to figure out the least slippery path.
Go for it. With a 13,
hold please.
Go for it.
Just a quick read of an ability.
Okay.
Whenever a creature you can see within 30 feet of you is about to make an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check, you can use your reaction to roll d6 and add the number to roll to the total.
Can you do that for yourself?
Am I a creature I can see?
I think the usual ruling is yes. You can do that a certain number of times per day, right?
3 times per long rest.
Per long rest. Okay, yeah. You can see yourself.
So 15.
With a 15, despite the fact that you are unable to see any landmarks that you might have relied on before, this 2-mile wide trench of completely destroyed ground means that there's nothing blocking your vision, and you are able to, in the occasional flash of overhead lightning and clear section of the storm, you are able to see the gates or the walls of Miva to the north, apparently outside of the tornado's path, and you work your way towards the north. You guys will arrive at town exhausted because you will arrive at town early morning at this point, between the difficulties of travel and everything else.
Could I speed up the traveling a little bit to scout ahead?
For yourself, you can. I would have, if you want to do that to help you guys get there better, I would have wanted an assistance for Lumi's check.
Yeah, I will. Let's say everything else that Lumi found would be difficult terrain, probably. Or is it already difficult terrain?
Yes, everything is difficult terrain.
Then I will try to find the least difficult terrain.
Okay.
And I will use my dash and my movement to do this, because then I don't have any negatives from difficult terrain.
Sure. I mean, you can have basically Lumi give Lumi advantage on the survival check then.
Okay. Well, let's do that then. Let's see if we get a little bit better.
With Cryor's scouting, you guys are able to take this, what would have been a 6-hour trip, back into 3 hours with beating the 25. So you are not exhausted as you get into town, sopping wet, covered in mud anywhere that isn't actively being rained on. And getting into town, it's probably 10, 11 p.m., but not in the middle of the night.
Oh, Zari, I hope your guildies have some hot food, at least on standby.
And some hot fire to dry up on. Or near.
In Orcish, Anya asks, "What happened to all the roofs? Why are we not in a real town?"
This is a real town. It's been abandoned for 18 years. We just got it back.
That's an Orcish.
Yeah.
Do you speak
No.
Orcish?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it got in disrepair because it was abandoned for so long.
Well.
And we're rebuilding it piece by piece. We got a couple of houses now with roofs, and we got a big stone building.
I hope you've done something with the undead, then. She's sniffing the air.
Do you think there's still undead here?
I smell that. At the very least, if there's not any right now, there were for a long time.
Yeah, we cleared most of it, and getting rid of Rowan, what we talked about, got most of them to die on their own.
So Elros, she points just kind of over your shoulder in a random direction, and she says in Feyan-ish, like it's definitely an attempt at Feyan, home. Pointing in like the wrong direction, but
Is she pointing at like a random point in Miva?
yeah, she's just pointing. She's just pointing, kind of. Yeah.
I guess I'll take her off in that direction just to see what she's talking about.
Wait, no, that's not what I meant. She says in Sylvan. Why is he separating out from the rest of you?
Hold up, Elros.
What's going on?
I think she might have her words mixed up, and I will ask her back in Sylvan. What did you mean with the rather accurate attempt of saying home in Feyan?
I was trying to tell him to take us home.
Our home for the moment is, and Lumi will point in the direction of where the Cook's Guild is.
Right,
located, the tavern. Lumi would
the Griffin?
know. The Griffin. Lumi would know.
Yes.
Which way?
So she then points in the direction that Lumi points and says, and again in Feyan, home!
Elros, just bring her to the griffin, please? She might.
Onward,
Sounds good.
Anya's trusty steed.
Feel like a horse. Okay.
She points at Risha and thumbs up. She says in first in Sylvan and then in Orcish, you know, your language isn't that hard to learn. Give me a half a year and I'll have it.
I also call dibs on first bath.
Sylvan, I would just respond. Well, I'm glad you think it's an easy language.
It's not as easy
you-
as Kartukan, but it's something at least.
And Lumi will just start more technically just looking up at the sky in the half distance, not just enough up to still see where it's going, and start rambling of stars and constellations in celestial.
Right. Well, it's, you know, completely cloud covered because it's still raining, but it's no longer storming.
Yeah, Lumi would know which way things are.
True, you would. So you guys pull up, like you get to the griffin and enter the place, like dripping wet still. The fire in the fireplace is banked. There is nobody else. There's nobody awake in here. The door that name of people.
I'm pointing at almost everything I have.
RP, thank you.
And the stuff that we see, and point them out and name them in
Right.
Feyen.
Right.
Like spoon, sword.
So the door that RP has, the room that RP has taken over for herself is closed tight, banked, as in it is a low fire that is set up to continue to burn all night, but is not it's
Maintenance fire.
right.
Like,
It's a maintenance fire.
keep
It's not
it
really
going, so you just throw more on in the morning when you need the heat.
right.
Guess who's throwing more on?
So as you guys get into the room, Anya hops off of Elros's back and like does a half cat shake, realizes that she's wearing clothing somehow, like that's the expression that crosses her face, and she starts she strips off the cloak that she had. She strips off the hood that she had, and gets down to basically a barefooted leather pants and a still waterlogged shirt, and is trying to tie her hair up and squeeze out the water in it.
Lumi is using all the tricks in his repertoire to kickstart this fire into a drying fire.
Like it is no effort at all to throw some logs on here and get a big fire burning in this fireplace.
Zari has gone upstairs to retrieve blankets and dry clothes for everyone.
Remind me to apologize to the keepers of this place tomorrow, please.
Well, I am the keeper of this place, so apology accepted.
Accurate enough. Anya finds herself a corner of the room, looks like where the old stage was, and starts plinking away at her and tuning up her Grillale. As the rest of you either use towels or blankets or otherwise attempt to dry off, RP pokes her head out of the out of her room. She's obviously like wearing a night clothes, like a long shift. It probably used to be white, but it's older and just a little raggy and very comfortable looking. And she's like, you made it back. And she kind of looks over in the corner. And you found a friend?
Yes, we'll talk about it in the morning.
All right. Well, have a good night. Thank goodness the storm missed us.
It didn't miss us.
She looks at all of you, says, "Okay, this is a story for the morning. Then have a good night."
Now that Lumi has the fire going, Zari sets a pot of water on the a kettle of water on the on the on the racks to get it warmed up to get everyone some tea.
In Sylvan, Anya will say, "That smells good. What's she making?"
She's making tea, and I will repeat the tea in Feyen and mimic drinking.
Right. She says in Feyan tea, and then goes and kind of has a thoughtful expression, and then goes, "I don't suppose you know prestidigitation then."
Not me. Ibrikit, do you know? I will, when I call Ibrikit, I will switch to Feyen. And
Right.
do you know? I think is there a spell called prestidigitation?
Yes.
And you know this spell? Because Anya's wondering.
I don't have it ready.
I will go back to Sylvan and relay to Anya that the wizard seems to know that it exists but not have it ready, if that makes sense.
She nods, sighs a little bit, and then sings a little bit, and you all find yourself quickly drying. And Anya is coughing. Coughing a little bit after having completed her song. And also clean, so dry and clean.
I'll give her a bow and say in Feyen, thank you.
She nods, having gotten at least the gist of your meaning.
Lumi would probably just act like literal translator whenever people say something and just help her.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever people say anything that she seems thoughtful about, why don't I know that? Why
Right.
I want to know that.
So Zari, as you distribute the cups of warm tea, she takes a sniff of it, takes a sip, bows deeply at you, and then like holds the mug like a person who's trying to warm themselves after coming in from playing in the snow. And basically kind of curls around the warm tea, like the steam lifting up into her face. All right then. Well, do I have a room to stay in, or should I just stay here? She says, probably in Sylvan.
Is there a free room?
The rooms are full. Like you all are probably sharing rooms because there's like 60 people in this town. There are 2 buildings that have ceilings.
If someone wants to tell her, she can take my bunk and I can just sleep out here tonight. I don't think anybody would mind if I just crash in front of the fires tonight.
Yeah, I could stay out as well, so she can have a private room or something.
After some translations back and forth, she says, translating through Lumi, no, I don't need a private room. I'm fine with sleeping out here in the open. It's not like I haven't slept in the open before. There's been more than one stage that I've slept on in my life. And with a little bit of disgust, she like realizes she didn't dry out her own cloak, and she wrings it out and hangs it up on the wall behind her in a place where the fire can like get it. And with her backpack, she makes a semi pillow and she like curls up, finds one of the blankets that isn't too wet from what you guys used to dry off.
I can stay out here just in case anybody has any questions in the morning.
Yeah, I want to do that as well.
Okay.
To keep her safe and company.
All right. So those of you who are staying out in the main room, I would like an intelligence check from you as you hear you guys probably just as you're starting to fall asleep, you hear Anya saying something and like obviously fighting a dream is the best way to put it.
So do you want to do insight or intelligence?
Insight works. Yeah, insight. That's actually better.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Lumi, you're probably close enough to get an insight as well. Basically anywhere you could hear and or see her.
Will an 18 passive insight work?
I would like a roll, please. See, it's better. I don't know that passive insight is a thing. Anyway.
Technically, any skill has a passive.
Right. It's just that
Insight is specifically listed on the sheets.
nice. With a 20, she is obviously some sort of night terror, and though you do not understand the language she is saying, there is enough cognates with Sylvan in it that she is begging, pleading, screaming, almost like she's not being loud, but she is begging to be released from bonds is what you get. And like her motions are struggling against, like, as if her wrists are restrained and tied together, that she is like her wrists aren't tied together, but that she has her hands clasped together and she's like pulling as hard as she can. You can like in beneath her sleeves you can see the muscles standing out on her forearms as she is trying to break free of whatever this bond is, as she's pleading to be released.
Lumi will take note of that and just pass right back out.
Right. And after 5 minutes of this, she seems to awake fully. Like, sit up, look around, see where she is, and then like cuddle herself down into an even tighter ball, like completely underneath a blanket. About too early for all of you who got here late. 5, probably 5:30 in the morning. One of the Cook's Guild guys comes in and like first thing he notices is the roaring fire, and he goes, "I'm sure I banked that last night. What is going on?" And walks in the room and just sees kind of the disheveled state you guys left it in, and goes, "All right, well, I guess I got the fire hot already. Let me see what we got." And he
in the midst of that, Lumi will snort awake long enough to just get a sorry out from being passed out across the table.
right. Yeah, he just kind of waves at you and grabs Zari's pot, which is empty of tea, like takes it over to the water spout, remembers that the water spout doesn't have any water in it, gets some more water from the jugs underneath the bar, rinses it out a little bit, and starts making oatmeal in it. Throws in oatmeal and a couple of sticks of cinnamon and some honey from a pot, and a little bit, like a pinch of salt, and like too much butter. You would swear too much butter, but like a pound of butter goes into a relatively not immense pot of oatmeal. And he puts it onto the fire to start warming up and boiling through. And meanwhile, he starts up the cooking fire behind the bar with a, oh shoot, there's a term for it. A long stick that's like that you can use to light the fire on the end of the stick, and then take it over to another place. Anyway, he uses that to light the fire underneath the cook place. And you guys, most of you, anybody who's out in the common room, awaken to the smell of eggs and bacon cooking in bacon grease on the cook surface of the bar.
Well, Elros is awake. He's hungry after what happened yesterday.
So Anya sits up, and you guys know this word because it's a loan word for you. And she says, "Coffee?" So that is a loan word, but it is in Feyan.
Yeah, Lumi will yawn, stretch, hear coffee, and say, I'll see. I'll check with the people if we have some in stock.
Coffee? Oh, coffee. Now she's just repeating it to herself.
Lumi will, the archetypical male, scratch his back, stretch a bit whilst walking towards the bar, both elbows onto the bar, head in hands, sleepy as all get out. Just look towards the bar, the person behind the bar. Do we have any coffee?
Goes, yeah, we have some. Been kind of saving it for special occasions, but third pot from the left, the ones with the tight lid on it, down on the bottom shelf over there.
We have a somewhat special occasion. I'm gonna borrow enough for a cup or two.
Okay. So,
And Lumi will do the stretch, scratch, and mosey on, trying to make some coffee.
all right. So as you're trying to make some coffee, I would like you to make a perception check, please. And what is that right there? Oh, yeah. You absolutely notice as she slips her hand into the pot of coffee beans and comes out with a small handful of them, and you hear a crunching sound behind you.
I will keep doing that, but whenever I have a chance to not actually pay real attention to what I'm doing, I will look at her, scowl, and just
Coffee.
keep making a small pot of coffee, like 3, maybe 4 cups.
All right. So Arpy comes out as the first round of bacon and eggs is coming off the griddle, fully dressed for the day. She looks over at Lumi. Oh, you have coffee going. Good. I'll take a cup of that. And she heads, gets herself a plate, and people are starting to filter in for their morning breakfast.
Lumi is very guarded about the coffee. Arpy gets a cup, Anya gets 2, and the last one goes to himself.
All right. Those of you who weren't sleeping in the main area, you guys gonna stay asleep for a while or get up early?
Zari's going to
sleep
be
as much as I can.
All right.
Zari's going to be an hour late to work.
All right. So Iberkeet is out.
Yep,
What was
in
that?
bed.
In bed. All right.
Ain't going nowhere.
So the gal's room is this lovely sound of faint breathing and or snoring if you guys snore. I think everybody else was out in the main. Actually, Cryo, were you in the main room too? I think you were.
Yeah.
So
When people start dripping in, I'll head out.
okay.
I don't
It is
like people in the morning.
it is still raining, although it's definitely tapering off.
Oh, I don't care.
Right.
I'll just do a morning jog or something.
Right.
And get back into like 15 minutes, 20 minutes later. Just to get myself a little bit of awake.
Elros, you find yourself quickly with a big bowl of, or a small bowl of oatmeal and a big plate of bacon and eggs. And Anya has gotten herself a double mug of coffee and as much bacon as she could convince the guy to give her, and no eggs nor oatmeal. And pretty much everybody else has a mixture of all three. And
With less bacon.
with less bacon. And just kind of, that genial morning conversation of shared work and food as people are talking about what they're going to be doing for the day and everything else. And Arpy comes over to probably Lumi and Elros. I'm assuming you're at the table with Anya, and she comes over with her cup of coffee and sits down with you.
Morning, Arpy.
Good morning. So she's new.
Yeah, she's a descendant of oh god, Zer's forgetting the name
Griffith?
of the, yeah. Well, she's a descendant of Griffith, the old hero.
She like an eyebrow disappears inside of the bangs of her on her forehead. You're a descendant of Griffith. Why don't you respond to? Does she not understand what I'm saying?
Oh no, she doesn't. She understands a small outset of Feyan language. She speaks Sylvan. I think Cryer said she spoke Orcish and probably something else, but that's the 2 languages we've found she speaks that we speak.
At this point, Zari, groaning comes down the stairs, and after the mess of yesterday, Zari has her hair fully down, not tied back in her usual braid.
Hey, Zari, get the buns out of the oven.
Got it.
So you find that there are not buns in this oven, but there are biscuits. like shortbread.
Yep.
I will also say, if you by chance know Draconic, I'm pretty sure she can understand that one.
So there is a short conversation in a language that you do not speak, but Anya obviously does, and there's like a transfer of so after a few moments RP says in fan, so she says she speaks Kartukan, Draconic, Elvish, Orc, Sylvan, Ukesh, Valorian. So I know 3 of those, but not very well. I think I'll be able to talk with her though.
She's a hungry one, so we might need to up the hunt or something.
That's the second plate of bacon that she has gotten and eaten. And she's
I
like
will
100 pounds
purposely
wet.
lean over towards RP and whisper near her. Yesterday, she ate an entire bullet.
Okay, maybe you should tell me this story later when there's not. And she waves at like 40 people who are filtering in and out.
Yeah, maybe later.
We will provide more details up in the study when we get Amari with us as well, because Amari will need to know some things.
So at somehow, as if by magic, summoned by the saying of his name, Amari walks through the front door, comes striding in, and goes, "Hey, who made coffee? That smells really good."
Sorry, we're all out.
Tea then? Does anybody have some tea?
I'm assuming that one is part of the, and Lumi will offhandedly wave towards the kitchen crew of those guys thing.
Oh, Zari, you're back.
Yes. Yes. We got back last night from our little excursion. It's good. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you all too. We have some stuff to talk about in a little while.
Looks like everybody has a sharing session they need to get off their chest.
As oh shoot, what is her name?
Padragain.
Padragain comes in, sniffs, and goes, "Oh hey, coffee? What's the special occasion? Is there any left?"
Special occasion is guest, and no, we're all out for this time.
The like disappointment goes across her face, and
Lumi, I'm blaming you.
and
Oh yeah, feel free.
Amari kind of laughs and says, "You're too young for coffee anyway, Padragain." Amari joins the table of RP and Lumi and Elros. And gets to his breakfast. About this time, anybody else who's sleeping in is probably waking up to the general din of morning and the smell of bacon.
Probably woken up by Lumi wondering where people are, just going thud, thud, thud on the door. Because he will do that.
And I'll probably wander back in after it's been probably 15 minutes.
Anya has been denied her 4th plate of bacon, as most of the bacon has been taken up by the remainder of the people, and there isn't enough yet to fill up her plate. Looking very disappointed, she returns back to the table with a plate of biscuits and gravy.
Risha, Iberkeet, you guys up?
Let them sleep if they need to. Uh, they had it the worst yesterday in that storm.
Breakfast is running out. Anya's eating all the bacon, and Lumi will walk back.
All right, I arise for the promise of bacon.
There's like the cook has very thoughtfully saved a couple pieces for the remainder of the lights of Miva, as he knew that if Cryor, Elros, and Lumi were around, then the rest of, and Zari was helping to cook, then the rest of you would be too. And Ibrahim, you find yourself with probably not as much bacon as you wished, but still some amount of bacon. And
Anya snipes some.
there's definitely a hurt look on her face as you arrive to the table with bacon after she had been denied.
I'll give my bacon part to Anya.
There is a feral sound as it goes down with aplomb. That's not the right word. Or speed. And in Feyan, to all of you guys, RP goes, you were not kidding when you said she was hungry.
We'll probably have to take her out later to find some more.
Lumi will just remark, have I been known to kid very often?
No, but I don't. I swear she's eaten half of her body weight in food.
Trust me. If my teachings are to be believed, that might not be half of her body weight.
Okay.
I think at this point most of the people I've moved through is like.
Yep. The place is kind of emptying out. Padragain,
Yeah.
Amari, RP, and the cooks are left basically.
Yep. And I'm like, Tosa, you got the rest of this?
Yep, I'll clean up.
Okay, thanks. And I go and
Best pieces for myself. You hear slightly behind you as you leave.
yeah.
Lumi will just hold a thumbs up behind his back towards the kitchen.
And Zari will go and join the table sitting next to Amari.
Anya sees everybody kind of gathering up. She kind of sighs heavily, and she can do this once more. Yeah, she can do this once more. All right. She sings a song, coughs up some blood, and she's like, all right, well, last time I can do this for a while, but at least now I can understand what you're saying. I don't want you talking behind my back or have to do this game of you translate for me, I translate from you. Amari is surprised looking, and RP is like thoughtful.
Oh, the me whispering to RP here, and I will gesture to RP, is just not wanting to spread your secret further than those we implicitly trust. So,
No, we have about an hour to talk.
So, first things first. This is Anya. She is a bard, and she is the daughter of Griffith, who was with her mother on the who was with her mother for most of this time, which is why we are just now learning about her.
That seems accurate enough. I think you missed an important step in the process there. And she grins, and the grin continues very wide across her face. And she says in Draconic, which RP understands, and then but all of you understand currently because of her spell. She goes, "I'm also a dragon. Just figured I'd let that out there. So is my dad. Apparently, he didn't let you know that he was either." And then she continues to like literally lick the remnants of the gravy off of her plate.
Yeah, didn't want to say that part out loud for other people to hear, but
Feels important.
well,
Apparently, they saw me burning your home city down, or something.
yes, this is the dragon that Iberkeet saw in a vision of a disaster befalling Haifa, which is why we went to search for her. And I think we have avoided at least part of that disaster.
Well, I don't plan on burning any cities down. I didn't plan on burning any cities down before. I didn't even know there was a city to burn. But I'm here now, so I promise not to
Well,
burn your city down unless I really need to.
well, it has come to our attention that part of the vision was not caused by Anya, but was instead caused by the cult of the righteous ascendant.
Yeah, that's a problem. Says
Apparently, the dragon shards that we find are pieces of Griffith, and some of them are used to fuel spells. And apparently, there's a really powerful one that you can fuel to pull iron from the planet, from the ground.
Zari brings out the map that we got from the limes that we discussed on, and basically, so from what we're able to deduce, this is just a working theory, but they are spreading dragon shards around the city at various locations in order to create nodes of magic for them to work a grand spell. It is the we don't have the full pattern yet, so we don't know exactly what it's doing, but we can determine that it is facing towards the earth, not towards the sky.
you are probably sitting next to Elros and RP. About this time. Oh shoot! Why can I not find people's names? Your mentor, Iberkeet.
Oh yeah. I know this,
Uh huh.
but I forgot.
That's the problem I'm having.
Yeah.
And Trita?
Intrida. Thank you. All right. So Intrida walks in, uh, gets herself a like only oatmeal, which is pretty much all that's left, and kind of wanders over and sees what's on the table and goes, "What's okay? That's not complete. What's the symbol for? A, why is there a symbol on the map of Haifa? And two, it's not complete."
Do you know which symbols that could, or rather, magical runes this might complete into?
It depends on what you want to do with it, I guess.
Pull metal from the earth?
Something about summoning, I believe.
Well, that's terrifying.
And I point out that it's reversed, so it's pointing down.
Right. So it's not going to pull all the metal out of the people in the town, if it's on the ground in the town like that, it's going to pull the sewers up out of the town, maybe? Unless you'd have to make it... Okay, so it like covers... So it covers like a quarter of the city. The one you have... She's like, if you like put 4 of them together to cover the whole city, maybe, and then you added some stuff outside of town to like reinforce it, to like make it so it didn't wander too far, you could like, I don't know. She thinks,
How long would it take to complete an idea like that?
months. Who's doing this?
The Limes and the cult of the Righteous Ascendant.
Oh, that's horrifying.
We got this from one of their safe houses. Well, safe sewers.
So it would seem that way. The lights might need to return to Haifa with
We,
not much time. Not a lot of time.
So both RP and Amari start talking at the same time. I can't do 2 voices at the same time, so I'll do them one at a time. And RP goes, well, I don't know if you'll have time for that. You guys have a mission from the Blue Rock. And Amari goes, yeah, I don't know if that's such a good idea. I just got a message back from Haifa. And then they kind of look at each other and both almost in unison say, you first. And then
Amari, please, if you don't mind.
Okay. So it may not be safe for you to return to Haifa. With the release of the Limes, I was informed that should I see the group known as the Lights of Miva, that I should endeavor to put them under guard and return them at once to Georgie in Haifa. And he looks around the room, catching each of your eyes. I just haven't seen them for days. I don't know where they are.
Right. Thanks, RP. I'm assuming you're just gonna say that abandoning a mission half complete is not completing the mission.
No, what I was gonna say is that I got word back from the guild that there is a evidence of a group a group of trolls to the north of town of Haifa, and should I run into you, that I should send you. There's about a week's travel. It's out into the wilderness, but they're pretty sure that this group of trolls, from what some of the nomad people have been saying, is generally heading towards Miva, and that I should send you on a mission to go take care of them. The reward is upwards of 20,000 brass. It's supposed to be a very large group of trolls.
That sounds like a trap.
Lumi will head plant into the table with force.
I mean, I wasn't gonna make
Like,
you
really
guys go on it, but
Thud.
I knew some of you really like to get paid well, so I was gonna offer it to you.
No. That is an obscene amount. That is an amount that is designed to get us away from Miva. So someone can come attack us. That is very clear.
20,000 for anything less than, and Lumi will spitball a number that he knows from his time is way larger than reasonable, like 25 or 50 or something. For anything less than that is not real. This is, yeah.
I mean, I don't have much to go on. I'm getting secondhand information from the Blue Rock, but from what Gamil said, like the person asking for this mission has given the bond, like the money is there. Yeah, it seems like a trap, but the money is real.
Oh, of course it's real, and so are the limes who are waiting to ambush us.
It's possible.
Or so are the 3 sparrows there for us to kill while the limes attack Mieva.
No, they're not gonna do that. That's too big a risk, too obvious. No, they want us.
Well,
They want us. We keep messing up their plans. They want us out of the way.
either way, RP's or not RP. Amari says either way, somebody's trying to either contain you and get you to Haifa under guard, or get you a week out into the wilderness.
Yeah, we need to get to Haifa.
When's
Uma
the
might
next?
be in danger.
When is the next mail service going to Haifa?
So it's currently
5 days or something?
23rd of Carnelian, so it's gonna be probably the last one was on the 20th, the 19th, 20th, something like that. So return trip soon, and then a week back. So like, we could send the mail out like tomorrow or the next day.
Which means not. Oh, jeez. I was gonna try to get word from my guild to see what's up, but.
And Trita, about this spell, what time of year would it be the most ideal to cast this sort of grand ritual?
I mean, it depends. Are you trying to do something good with it, or are you trying to do something bad with it?
Let's assume bad.
Well, magic that does destructive, terrible things are most powerful during Jet and Snowflake Obsidian.
And that's in about a week.
No, in about a month and a week.
A month and a week? Okay. What's the next month?
Hold on a second. I will pop open my. It is currently Carnelian. It's almost the end of Carnelian. Next month is Fire Opal, and then Snowflake Obsidian.
Okay. So. Okay. Well, I think we need to. We need to hold out and prepare. We need to try to get some supplies, and we need to try to get we need to try to get a person. We need to try to find out who is a higher up in the cult, higher than the lines, higher than Rowan, because we're not going to find Rowan. Rowan's going to find us. But we need to figure out.
I mean,
who's higher up in the cult.
I could probably find Rowan. Anya says. I mean, he's a Fae, right?
I mean, yes, we could find Rowan, but he's most likely in Haifa, and we can't go into Haifa exactly looking for him. So we need to know a person where they're going to be, and so we can get in and out of Haifa quickly.
Also, finding and dispatching a Rowan might not help us because he's just gonna come back.
Oh, I don't want to dispatch Rowan. I don't want to dispatch this person that that is a higher up. I want to interrogate them. We need to find out more information about this plan.
So you're saying I can't eat the Fae?
Not yet.
Well, fair enough.
Get in
Talking about-
line.
talking about- Go ahead.
I have personal beef with the Fae.
So if I gave you beef, could I then eat him?
Maybe.
Anya looks thoughtful. I've only
Talking
seen the
about
goat people.
Rowan and the Fae, do you know if there's somebody in this room at the moment?
I mean, Risha's upstairs. She's the one of you who's Fae touched.
No. Like, can the shapeshifter be among us?
Oh,
Now,
there's no Fae in the room right now.
Okay.
I had to smell them.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
very tasty.
He's in Haifa right now. He's probably working as whoever was put in place as Amari's replacement.
Yes, but we got false information or misleading information from higher ups before from Rowan. So that's why I wanted to make sure that this information is not from Rowan.
About this time, Risha, you're coming stumbling down the stairs, probably going breakfast.
Humbly is rumbly.
I know a spell that will hurt, but as far as I can tell, the anyone that has an alternate form will find it very hard to keep their alternate form.
Guys, we don't need to be worried about Rowan right now. Rowan will find us eventually. He has to. He can't help himself. We
There might be some other.
Remember
Persuasions.
/W if you want only me to see it, Sam.
It's whatever. Other people can see it too.
okay.
Yeah.
So we need to not worry about Rowan. Rowan will find us whenever he wants. That's just his thing. We need to find someone higher up in the cult, and I think at this point our best lead is Georgie.
The one who asked for you to be arrested.
Yes, who also sent Amari here.
I think our best lead is Breck.
There's not much breakfast left. I ate it all.
Rachel, come here. I'll get you some. I think there's an egg and some oatmeal left.
Georgie sending Amari away and then asking for us to be arrested is too suspicious. Georgie is either under some sort of under some sort of gaze that's controlling her, or she's part of the cult and she's doing this of her own free will.
Or she's Rowan.
Yeah, or that.
I highly doubt that at this point.
I'm pretty sure she understood when she sent me that message that I wasn't going to arrest you. Maybe it was a warning to keep you from thinking about going back to Haifa. Because if they see you there, they're going to arrest you.
If it was the warning for us, then why would she send you away?
Because Amari is probably one of the few people in town that has enough pull to actually not
Zari?
jail us.
Zari, Amari's just staring at you. And then kind of eyebrows and looks at him at themselves and then looks back at you. They clear their throat. All right. Well, either way, I don't. Powerful people do not want you visiting Haifa, I think is the answer.
And is Georgie a powerful person?
She's the Day Watch commander.
Yes, I know that.
She's the most powerful guard in town. She regularly meets with the leaders of the town to discuss guard things. So yes?
That was a rhetorical question.
Oh.
Well,
Maybe
sorry.
some of the leaders of the town are involved as well then.
So the order for us to stay out of Haifa is Georgie or up in the hierarchy of Haifa.
Do you think that Georgie will actually arrest us if Georgie saw us?
Amari thinks for a moment. Probably. I don't.
Like just for talk, not like enforce.
I don't. I doubt that they have wanted posters for you around town. But if Georgie gave your name to me as wanting you arrested, then unless I'm completely missing my guess, then everybody in town, or all the guards, will, at least some of them will know that to be on the lookout for you. Like,
let me rephrase. Do you think he was forced to give that order?
The order, the message I received did not look to be under duress.
It's a written message that's hard to read.
Yes. I guess it's possible that it was forged. But it seemed legitimate to me.
Can we have the letter?
Yeah, give me a minute. And they walk out of the office. I have to go get it from where I've been sleeping. So Amari heads out. And Nani kind of looks at it all and goes, "We got about 20 minutes left of the spell. What would you like me to do as you head back into town? I mean, I've probably got a better nose than all of you for finding Fae. Unless one of you is a paladin. Wait, weren't you a paladin, though?"
I have not gained that ability to find Fae yet.
Oh, well, never mind then. So I'm your best tracking dog, as it were, if you're worried about a Fae.
Well, if you guys don't mind, I could take Anya and just go around the city and see if she senses any.
Well, Knife is a week away, so.
Oh, I meant Miva.
Oh,
No, Rowan's not going to be here. If
Well,
he was here, he'd already show himself.
I'd be happy to go through town. I mean, as small as this place is, it'll only take a few hours, and you're not going to make that strong a decision yet, right?
Probably not.
Yeah.
And
We need to prepare anyway.
Plus a tour would be nice.
Elrose, go right out the door and just follow the main road straight to the wall. You'll see a busted down section. That's where Rowan spent most of his time before we ousted him from Miva. Maybe she can pick up a scent she can reference for later.
That's a good point.
all right, well, I don't want to head off yet, just because this is kind of a powerful magic to just be wandering around town with. I'd rather be talking with you while I have it. But
So,
yeah, I
yeah,
can totally look around town.
what do you need to regain some more strength?
What? That is a complex question that I don't think has an answer as simple as you'd like. The food is helping though.
Wait a minute. I can understand big scary dragon lady.
For another 15 minutes or so, I cast a
What's
spell.
going on? What did I wake up to?
A discussion about what to do and who we know and who's safe and what
Who
and
to
where
trust?
we are supposed to be and not supposed to be according to the righteous ascendant cult.
Oh, those guys are jerkbags.
Oh yes, according to them, we're not supposed to be in Haifa, and we're supposed to go travel a week north to find a small gathering of trolls for 20,000 brass.
Oh no, they didn't say
It's a large
small.
gathering.
Like large gathering, like threatening Haifa size gathering of trolls. Like the
Well,
Oh,
without us, one troll is threatening Haifa, so yeah.
the Blue Rock has other adventuring guilds. Never mind that you currently are the most capable set of them.
Two of the most capable groups are in Miva at this moment.
Yeah, Salty Circle just said they were too busy in town to assist you on the troll hunt.
So they got reinstated. Good.
20,000 sounds really good. I like the idea of 20,000. 20,000 sounds great.
Risha, it's a trap to get us away from the city. We're going to go there, or we're not going to find trolls. We're going to find limes.
Ooh, killing limes for 20,000? That sounds amazing.
But the contract was for trolls, so if we kill limes, we won't get paid.
And if we want to collect the money, we will be captured.
They may not pay us, but we'll still get the money. No matter
Sorry.
where they
Yeah.
put it.
Yes, Risha, we know you want to. You have a proclivity for acquiring things that are not your own.
It's called a 5-finger discount.
All right, well, I shall head off with Alros then and see the place that this Rowan was. Would appreciate if somebody who I can actually talk to would come along as well.
I'll come along.
All right, well, they're good. Also, I now that I can talk to all of you, what do I have to pay to get like one of those big goat sheep things delivered like every day? They're super tasty.
I assume we'll just have to go out and get one.
Oh, you guys have a stock? I don't have to pay for it then. I can just eat your supply.
No, Anya, we have a stock that's specifically for pulling carts and stuff.
Oh, her face falls, slightly disappointed.
We'll get back to you.
No, well, let me know if this is enough. And she pulls a bag out of her backpack and tosses it over to you, Lumi. And then she gets up, puts on her big fur and dragon scale cloak, and heads out the front door.
I'll follow.
Yep, I'm going.
Lumi, you find in the bag 4 rubies and 3 sapphires, each of them worth at least 500 brass.
$3,500 brass worth of gems. Yay!
They're, like eyeball sized.
Pocket change.
Uh-huh.
Bug-eyed Lumi looks up from within the pouch. That dragon, if this is pocket change, she's living up to The reputation of dragons and hordes.
Entreata comes over and looks at you and goes, I think that'll pay for a few. I think that'd pay for a few Vuji. Maybe we can get them delivered from town. I don't really want to piss the dragon lady off. I feel like that's a short way to live.
No, RP, how many Vuji do we get for 3,500 brass?
Well, fully trained Vuji is worth probably 50 brass. 25
What
for
about
just
a not fully trained one?
okay. Well, it's probably maybe 25 or less, depending on how old they are. Just
Like meal for dragon sized?
okay. Well, they are horse costed, so I don't know what that is off the top of my head in the DMG or in the PHB, but they're the cost of horses.
You could always go hunting with the nomads. Or we can buy some stuff from Nomad. They have more exotic types of meat.
As you guys discuss the expenses of live versus nomad killed animals, and as Cryor and Elros go to see the place where you run into Rowan, and you also have learned over the course of this was the death place of a dragon. We will go ahead and actually, I think I want to do a what you guys don't see or elsewhere. There is a conference going on between Georgie, Rowan. Oh shoot. Nope. Wrong. Everything is wrong. Need peoples. The Ruari and Sorcha. Rowan is looking at Georgie going, they're not going to take the bait. I said to distract them with something believable so that they would not come back to town. That is not believable. They're not going to take the bait. Georgie goes, yeah, they're adventurers. They're greedy beyond anything else. Couple trolls that we found, and they'll turn them in and get paid their 20 grand, and they'll never be the wiser, and they'll give us enough time to finish up. And Sorcha goes, I don't know if we have enough shards left. It's going to be close. 3 or 4, maybe 3 or 4 extra total, but we're going to have to do this soon, and if anybody else finds and breaks one, we're going to have a problem. Georgie goes, grabs a book off of her, a familiar book to the players, if not to the characters, if they could see this. She grabs a book off of the table, caresses it lovingly, flips a couple pages in, and digs a iron wand out from under the foot long, 1/4 inch around iron wand out from under the table where she's standing, and goes, he's confident we'll have enough. Even if we lose part of the city, we should still have enough to do what we want to do, and we will all be rewarded in the end. And with that, we'll go ahead and end the session. Thank you to players for playing. Thank you to everybody for watching. It has been great having you here. Bye.